We are slowly creeping up to spring training, so I thought it best to talk about what Braves will deliver this season.
I'm Kelsey Wingert, and you're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Hi, this is Phil Necro. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Hey guys, Mike Nevers here. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome to On Deck. As always, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when new content drops. I have plenty coming over the next few months that you're not going to want to miss as we get closer to baseball season. Today, I decided that we're getting really close to spring training, so I wanted to talk about which Braves I thought would deliver this year, and it may surprise you. So I picked 5 Atlanta Braves. You may be surprised who I pick, and you may think differently. If so, go ahead and comment your top 5. With that out of the way, let's jump right into this. My first pick, I'm going with Max Fried. Fried had the best record on the Braves last year, finishing at 17-6. He's the benefactor of a lot of run support, to be fair. But the thing I noticed about Max Fried, well, actually there's a few. One, his stuff is electric. There's really no denying he's got a great curveball. He's known for studying video of Sandy Koufax's curveball, and clearly he's a pretty good student. Secondly, he plays to win. Watch him in the batter's box. He doesn't give anything up. He gets his money's worth at the plate, and he came in big around the base paths last year. There wasn't anyone not holding their breath when he decided to go headfirst at home plate. So for Max Fried, he's not just a pitcher, he's a gamer and a ball player. And I, for one, appreciate every bit of his determination. I think his command will be better this year, and the biggest lesson learned over the 2019 season is how to get out of trouble. He let himself into trouble, but thanks to the run support he got, he was left there to work himself out of it. A valuable experience for him to be able to carry it in to 2020. Side note, he was brought into the NLDS in relief because of all that experience of what he had shown all season long. So look for him to have developed in the offseason, be a reliable starter once again. Second pick, pretty easy one to make. I'm going with Mike Soroka. If you didn't expect this guy to be on the list, you have not watched much Braves baseball lately. He finished 2019 with a 2.68 ERA and a 13-4 win-loss record. In the postseason in St. Louis, he had only one appearance, but in that appearance he pitched a solid 7 innings, striking out 7 and giving up 1 run. I will take that all day long. He had a great year last year, and I think the Braves are more than capable of scoring north of 2 runs when he's pitching. Mind you, they averaged a little over 5 a game last year. I think he could have a really good year. I mean, he was a Cy Young candidate last year. Why wouldn't he do it again this year? I don't see a decline anytime soon, and not to mention, he's got to solidify a bullpen this year. I think that'll really help out that record. Think about all those times you saw Mike Soroka in the dugout after a save was blown. Simply, it was just too many. If it was my choice, I'd pick him as my opening day starter. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a bold statement real quick and predict that he will be the opening day starter in 2020 and likely for many years to come. Number 3, Austin Riley. I've talked a lot about Austin Riley lately, and mainly because Josh Donaldson left the Braves and it left an opening at third base. But Austin Riley had Babe Ruth-like numbers for 2.5 weeks in the majors last year, and even a month in AAA before that. He found himself guessing at the plate and unsure of himself, as any young hitter does. He had to learn, but it seemed like when Donaldson took off last year, most fans put Austin Riley into the back of their minds. But the kid is really good. My sources are telling me that Riley has been working all offseason on plate discipline, and I think all Riley really needs is confidence. If the Braves don't go after a veteran third baseman, i.e. Nolan Arenado from the Rockies, oh, by the way, you can see my thoughts on that with the link above, as well as my thoughts on the possibility of Chris Bryant. And let's not forget another intriguing solution from the Oakland Athletics, Matt Chapman. Otherwise, the Braves go into the season with third base up for grabs. Can Riley earn the spot for himself? Are there enough at-bats for there to be a competition at the hot corner? It's tough for a player to feel like if he goes 0 for, he won't start the next day. His focus should be on the field, and he needs to have backing from the coaching staff, his teammates, and most importantly, you, the fans. I have to confess, I am a Riley fan. I've liked him ever since being at his debut last year. I like his approach at the plate, and I really think he brings a lot to the Atlanta Braves. I believe he can earn the spot at spring training if given the opportunity. Unfortunately, if the Braves go ahead and get one of these veteran outfielders, Riley is likely to be part of that package. I will stick by the thought that this guy is a big part of a future championship team in Atlanta. Last year when he was playing left field, he worked hard to learn that position. If he lands the job at third, he won't have the threat of being pulled out for late inning defense hanging over him. I think his confidence and plate discipline will have a massive improvement. Believe in this kid, Braves country. He's going somewhere. And I expect him to have a great 2020 no matter where he may end up, but I hope he stays right in Atlanta. Hey, you know where else is going to have a great 2020? Right here, this channel. We have had massive growth over the past couple of weeks, and that's all because of you. So if you don't subscribe already, go ahead and be a part of that and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when I drop new content about our beloved Atlanta Braves, plus so much more. There's new content almost every day. Speaking of which, go ahead and comment the subject you want me to cover next or in the next week or so. These videos are not for my enjoyment only, they are for you. So I need to know what you are interested in and what you want to see in the future here at On Deck. Moving on, number 4. This is a really easy pick to make, but I have to make it. Freddie Freeman. What else can I say about him? It really should be no surprise. He's one of the most consistent players in Major League Baseball. But something you may or may not know is for the past almost decade, he has been dealing with some type of pain in his elbow. But if you don't already know this, I'm happy to tell you that Freddie stated not too long ago that the pain in his elbow, for the first time in many years, is gone. He works out with it, no problem. And after last year's noticeable rough patch in that postseason, I know everybody in Braves country, including myself, was breathing a heavy sigh of relief. I think Freddie, especially since he's healthy, can have an MVP caliber year and maybe even take that award home. He has been the guy who carried the Braves through the rebuild, and we continue to count on him now. I would expect nothing but the best out of Freeman this year. That takes me right to number 5, Dansby Swanson. Dansby has been one of the most highly anticipated guys to have a breakout year since he was called up. And we've seen glimpses of what he's capable of throughout every season since he started for the Braves, but I think this is really going to be his year. I felt like he was really coming into his own last year, then he got hurt. Now he's got the skill level and he's healthy. If he can stay healthy, I think he could be next level productive in that 8-hole. He has been extremely productive and clutch in that spot, and I really don't see him anywhere else. He typically comes up with runners on, and that guy can flat out hit a fastball, and it's easy to see why he's become a fan favorite. It almost seems like when Dansby's performing well, the Braves as a whole are performing well. But one thing I've failed to mention so far is his defense. The guy's great in the field, and him and Ozzie up the middle has been a consistent and impressive duo on the diamond for the Bravos since they have moved up to the majors. And I think we'll see plenty of double plays turned this year, and it's a big reason that I saved Dansby for last. This will be a career year for Swanson, make no doubt about it. It will be a turning point in his career, and a big reason that the Braves will make it to their 3rd consecutive postseason. Did I say that? Yes, I did. 3rd consecutive postseason. Now, I'm going to throw a wild card in here, and some of you guys are not going to like it, but my wild card is going to be Johan Camargo. And I know what you're thinking. Tyler, what are you talking about? You just picked Austin Riley to click. Where is Johan even going to play? I had to throw Johan in here specifically because I've seen him all over the news lately. I do think that Riley will eventually win that spot at 3rd, but all reports everywhere I've looked the past couple of weeks are that Johan Camargo has been working extremely hard, and when media articles use that type of language, it takes a lot to get credit from media, especially when everybody else is working hard. And one thing I've noticed about Johan is I think he can beat anybody out of a job. He's one of the most athletic guys on the field, and if he's motivated to perform, I mean, his raw talent is exceptional. His fielding is outstanding. His batting, if he has consistent at-bats and plays regularly, is worth having in this lineup. We will have to see what he does compared to Riley, but don't be too surprised if he does become a starter at 3rd, or if the Braves let this competition last a little bit longer than it should. Too much talent is always a good thing. Now, in closing, no matter how much the Braves have changed this offseason, I think they have a good team on paper. I think they have the potential to be a great team if these key players make an impact. Other players that are noticeably missing on this list: Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies. I know it's coming. The comment section is going to blow up with why did you not pick? Yes, they will have great years. I would expect no different from them. but that's expected. Everybody on this list has an obstacle. Either they're young, they're coming off an injury, or they're inexperienced. Regardless, look for those two guys to have all-star caliber seasons of their own. Had to throw that in there. But we also have a couple questionable aspects of the team. Number one being Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels was recently signed to the Braves not too long ago, and you know who Cole Hamels is. He's a former World Series champion, and I really like this pickup when the Braves got it. But the question of his age will continue to be a question until he proves otherwise. Number two, Ender Inciarte. Inciarte is coming off of injury, and he's actually been rather quiet so far this year. I said a few days ago in my crowded outfield video, by the way, you can see it up there, that I wouldn't be surprised if Ender Inciarte was to be traded soon. A lot of you were outspoken about that comment, and a lot of you didn't like it. So what do you think now? You know, you start adding up all the guys on the roster, and I know we have that extra spot, but there's still not that many, you know, to handle that many outfielders. So tell me what you think now. Drop a comment in the comment section among any other things you want to comment about. I really like to hear it. I still think Ender may be traded, and I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let you tell me what you think in the comment section. The last questionable aspect, and you're going to hate it when I say this, I can hear you now, the bullpen. That scary, scary, scary Braves bullpen. It firmed up a lot last year. Let's give it some credit when AA went and got Shane Green, Mark Melancon, and Chris Martin. But will that be sustained this year? Man, I really hope so, because you know as well as I do that we're going to have to wait and see what they're going to do, because after last year, I'm really hesitant to be full of energy about a Braves bullpen, but we'll see. They really need to prove themselves this year and give the starters enough backup here, because last year was rough. I don't know how many, I mentioned this earlier, I don't know how many blown saves Mike Soroka got last year, but it was too many. These are just my opinions, and I know you're going to have those of your own. So again, go to the comment section. I always appreciate and try to respond to every last one of them. I'll get to you as soon as I can in a timely fashion, I promise. Also, if you're a baseball fan, and if you've watched this far, I know you're a baseball fan, so go ahead and subscribe. You can see all my future content and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when I drop new content. As always, I appreciate all of your support. I've gotten a ton of it over the past few weeks since I've started doing these type of videos. It means the world to me. I hope we can continue this throughout the Braves season this year. And hey, maybe we'll win a World Series along the way. Also, if a lot of you came up to me at Chop Fest to introduce yourselves, I always appreciate getting recognized at the games. Specifically, Aiden, Zach, and James, I really appreciate you taking the time with me, guys. And if you didn't see that video with those guys, go take a look at it right now, because it's worth watching. But anyway, guys, I really hope you had a great time at Chop Fest, as did I. And for future reference, please come see me at the ballpark. I always enjoy talking baseball with anybody at Truist Park. One more thing, I've mentioned this before, but if you want to meet Andrew Jones, you can. February 15th from 12 to 1 p.m. at BP Sports in Marietta. BP Sports is located at 2800 Canton Road in Marietta, Georgia. Andrew will be signing autographs and selling his brand new bobblehead line. So make sure to make an appearance there. You will hate to miss it, I promise. One more time, BP Sports, February 15th, 12 to 1 p.m. Come meet Andrew Jones. And that'll be it, guys. I'll see you next time on deck.